Our ancestors unknowingly left behind objects and artifacts that fascinate us. If only they had left notes next to the objects to guide us in our quest to understand them. Nevertheless, we have embarked on this journey of discovery, revealing remarkable finds and piecing together the stories of their lives. The past remains an enigma, but let us strive to understand it together. In May 2023, the Rijksmuseum acquired a rare and exquisite gold ruby glass goblet made by Johann Kunkel, a prominent 17th century German alchemist, apothecary, and glassmaker. Dating from around 1685, the goblet showcases Kunkel's pioneering technique of adding gold to glass to achieve a deep and intense red color. Only about 20 of Kunkel's early gold ruby glass pieces are known to exist, making this shell-shaped goblet, with its unique form, style, and engraved scene of playful putti frolicking around grapevines, a truly exceptional find. The goblet's engraving is attributed to Gottfried Spiller, a master glass engraver known for his work on gold ruby glass. The glass itself resembles carved stone rather than blown glass, fitting into the tradition of Kunstkammer collections that brought together extraordinary objects from nature, science, and art. The discovery that gold compounds could produce red tones in glass was known in antiquity, but it was Kunkel who refined the process and published his own treatise on glass production. He perfected the recipe for gold ruby glass, which gained immense popularity and was considered a precious material with purported health benefits. In the early 19th century, British nobles indulged in a trend that added an element of intrigue to their romantic affairs: lovers' eyes, also known as eye miniatures. These unique pieces of jewelry gained popularity during the Georgian era and involved depicting only the eyes of the beloved. While personal portraits had been common adornments for centuries, the exclusive focus on the eyes was a novelty. This trend emerged around the time of the French Revolution, but gained significant popularity in Britain, largely due to the influence of the Prince of Wales, later George IV. He was known for his numerous love interests, and had his most notorious affair with Maria Fitzherbert. Despite legal and social restrictions, George showered Maria with affection, including commissioning a portrait of her eye painted by Richard Causeway, which he sent with a proposal of marriage. Their forbidden union was short-lived, as George III intervened and forced the prince to marry a German princess. However, the Prince of Wales had unwittingly sparked a fashion for lovers' eyes. These intimate pieces fostered a tactile connection between the wearer and the depicted subject, creating a sense of emotional closeness. Today, only about 1,000 lovers' eyes from the period between 1780 and 1830 survive. In May 2023, archaeologists in Israel confirmed the discovery of a 2,000-year-old financial ledger on the City of David's Pilgrimage Road in Jerusalem, shedding light on the commercial activities of the Second Temple period. The Israel Antiquities Authority revealed that the small stone tablet likely served as a receipt or payment instruction, providing valuable insights into the daily lives of the city's inhabitants. The inscription features partially preserved lines with Hebrew names, letters, and numbers. One line ends with the name Shema, followed by the Hebrew letter Mem, while other lines include symbols representing numbers, some accompanied by Mem or Resh, abbreviations for money and quarters, respectively. Similar inscriptions have been found in Jerusalem and Beit Shemesh, but this marks the first discovery within the boundaries of ancient Jerusalem from this period. The tablet was carved from a chalk slab, which was likely originally used as an ossuary, suggesting the possibility of local trade or craftsmanship. The pilgrimage road, as its name suggests, served as a crucial route for both pilgrims and commercial activities, underscoring the significance of this find for understanding Jerusalem's historical narrative. This Moai statue, originally erected in Orongo on Easter Island, now stands as a solitary figure in London. Its exact age is uncertain, but, like all its counterparts, it is believed to have been made around the year 1600. Called Hoa Hakananaya by the island's natives, meaning lost or stolen friend, it holds particular significance due to its removal by British explorers in 1868. Carved from basalt, the statue follows the typical Moai design of Easter Island, featuring distinct facial traits such as a prominent nose, eyebrows, chin, nipples, and elongated ears. Its hands rest on a protruding stomach, while later added petroglyphs adorn its body, including depictions of birdmen, a sooty tern called Manutara, and ceremonial paddles. Other engravings exist that have not yet been positively identified. Following its journey to England, the Moai was gifted by Queen Victoria to the British Museum in 1869, where it has remained on display. However, the Chilean government claims ownership of the statue, while some indigenous Rapa Nui groups advocate for its return to the island. The British government opposes this proposition, citing the absence of a conservation plan for the Moai on Easter Island. The Gweagal shield is a fascinating artifact that holds immense cultural and historical significance in Australia. Created by the indigenous Gweagal people, the shield is a remarkable example of their rich artistic and technological traditions. Carved from wood, the shield features intricate engravings and decorative patterns that reflect the unique cultural identity of the Gweagal community. One of the most celebrated aspects of the Gweagal shield is its connection to the arrival of Captain James Cook at Botany Bay in 1770. It is believed that an Aboriginal warrior named Cumin wielded this shield during a confrontation with Cook and his crew. This encounter marked the first significant interaction between Indigenous Australians and European explorers, making the Gweagal shield a potent symbol of resistance and resilience. Currently housed in the British Museum in London, the Gweagal shield serves as a tangible reminder of Australia's colonial history and the ongoing relationship between Indigenous communities and their cultural heritage. Its presence in the museum has sparked discussions about repatriation and the importance of returning cultural artifacts to their rightful owners. The Gweagal shield remains a testament to the artistic prowess and enduring spirit of the Gweagal people, encapsulating a significant chapter in Australia's past. The wooden carving, known as the Mangareva statue or deity figure, originated from Mangareva Island in French Polynesia. Created in the late 18th or early 19th century, this figure of a male god was given to English missionaries when the local population embraced Christianity. Eventually, the British Museum acquired the carving in 1911. In the early 19th century, European explorers and missionaries arrived in Mangareva, introducing new religious beliefs to the islanders. In 1835, French missionaries, with the support of the local king and former high priest, destroyed much of the indigenous art, but spared this idol. The London Missionary Society likely obtained the statue in the 1820s, and later loaned it to the British Museum before selling it to the National Collection. The Mangareva statue is carved from indigenous hardwood and remains mostly intact, with only parts of its arms and feet missing. The figure represents a standing male deity, showcasing distinct features unique to Mangarevan art. While its precise meaning and name are uncertain, scholars suggest it may represent both the god of agriculture Rongo and the principal god of Mangareva. The Haniwa terracotta dancers, housed in the Tokyo National Museum, are a pair of fascinating ancient Japanese terracotta funerary figures. These unique Haniwa, discovered in 1930 in the Nohara tombs in Saitama Prefecture, are known for their distinct gestures, earning them the moniker of dancers. Dating back to the Kofun period from 250 to 538 AD, these sculptures exhibit a simplistic design with abstract features and implied dance movements. The Haniwa terracotta dancers are characterized by their high level of abstraction. Standing statues with stick-like clay arms, they lack a lower body, presenting a cylindrical tube as a base for the head. The figures hold their left arm raised and their right arm extended diagonally downward, forming an inverted S shape. Their expressive facial features with hollowed-out circles for eyes and a mouth are unusual for Haniwa. The smaller figure represents a male farmer identified by a peasant headdress and a sickle-like tool, while the larger figure has neither hair nor earlobes. Recent reinterpretations suggest these Haniwa may depict horse groomers rather than dancers, but this historical theory has yet to gain widespread support. The Akan drum is a musical instrument that originated in West Africa, particularly among the Akan people of Ghana and Ivory Coast. This drum holds profound cultural and historical significance in Akan society. Crafted with meticulous attention to detail, the Akan drum showcases exceptional craftsmanship and artistic skill. Its distinctive hourglass shape carved from a single piece of wood captivates the eye and imagination. The Akan drum skins are made from animal hide stretched tightly over the wooden frame, producing resonant and vibrant sounds when struck. The rhythms produced by skilled drummers convey messages, announce important events, and reflect the rich cultural heritage of the Akan people. The drum serves as a means of communication, enabling communities to come together, express emotions, and invoke ancestral spirits during ceremonies and rituals. Beyond its musical function, the Akan drum embodies the collective identity, cultural traditions, and spiritual beliefs of the Akan people. Its presence in social gatherings, festivals, and rites of passage attest to its enduring importance. Today, the Akan drum has transcended its original cultural context and is celebrated as a symbol of African heritage and artistic excellence worldwide. Long before people learned to play and love the game of chess, they played a Viking-inspired game called Hnefatafl, or games based on it. Although no one knows the precise rules of this ancient board game, there is evidence of its popularity throughout Europe. Here is a particularly impressive Hnefatafl piece that was found on the English island of Lindisfarne in July 2020. There used to be a large medieval monastery on the island, but the monastery was invaded and occupied by Viking raiders in the year 793, during the early stages of the Viking invasion of Britain. They presumably brought their favorite board games with them. Since the piece is made from a richly decorated chunk of blue glass, it's likely that it was the king piece, of which the game only had one. We know that the game eventually spread to the rest of Britain because pieces made of bone or wood have been found in several places, but glass pieces are extremely rare. In fact, this is only the second example of a glass Hnefatafl piece ever found there. A battlefield is a good place to look for buried treasure, but the problem is that most of the world's major ancient battlefields have already been identified and searched. However, that isn't always the case. A Ming-era battlefield, about 370 years old, was found in China in early 2017 and has so far yielded more than 10,000 objects. Experts are still going through the things they found, but they're already very excited about this incredible gold imperial seal. They think it might have belonged to the heir presumptive of one of China's former emperors. The object comes from the Jiangku Chenyin historic site and dates back to a turbulent time in Chinese history when the Ming dynasty fell and the Qing dynasty took over. It's doubtful that anything found there during the rest of the search will be more valuable than the seal. The gold rectangle that is 3 inches by 1 inch with only its decorative turtle is almost certainly the only one of its kind ever made. It may have even ended up in the hands of Zhang Xianzhong, the rebel leader known as the Yellow Tiger, who led the revolt against the Ming Empire. September 2021 was an excellent month for coin finds, as we can see from this remarkable discovery in France. It wasn't made by archaeologists, but by construction workers working to renovate a mansion in Brittany. During their work, they uncovered 239 gold coins from the 17th century worth an estimated $350,000. The coins turned up when the workers were attempting to expand a nursery in the mansion into the space occupied by a former barn. This involved demolishing a wall, which turned out to have a metal box hidden inside. Inside the box were more than 200 coins. The rest of the collection turned up a few days later when the builders noticed an old purse hidden above a beam in the barn. All of the coins were minted between 1638 and 1692, covering the reigns of Kings Louis XIII and Louis XIV. One of them is an extremely rare coin called a Louis d'Or from the Dijon Mint, which is worth $18,000 on its own. It's not known why the coins were left in the house, but the proceeds from the upcoming auction will be shared between the builders and the property owners. Sometimes you have to leave the land and go into the water to make great archaeological discoveries. But all the diving and swimming is worth it when you come across finds like this. This is a collection of 53 ancient Roman gold coins that were found off the coast of Zabia, Spain in September 2021. The coins are properly known as solidi and were minted between the 4th and 5th centuries. Even though they spent more than 1,500 years underwater, they're in such good condition that all but one of them could be easily identified. The find includes coins made during the reigns of the emperors Valentinian I, Valentinian II, Theodosius I, Arcadius, and Honorius. 3 copper nails and some lead fragments were discovered with the coins, suggesting that they might have been inside a chest. Archaeologists think it's possible that the coins were hidden on purpose. The Western Roman Empire was entering its final days in the early 5th century, and attacks by barbarian groups of Alans and Vandals were common. Leaving their valuables in plain sight of the tribes wasn't a good idea. To say that the Cascad block is a bone of contention for archaeologists and scientists would be an understatement. To its supporters, it's evidence that the Olmec civilization developed the first form of writing in the Americas. To its detractors, it's a more modern forgery, and there's little chance that the two sides will ever come to an agreement. The circumstances of its discovery don't help. Instead of being dug up by archaeologists, it was found in a pile of debris in Veracruz, Mexico, by road builders in 1990. Clay figurines and pottery found around it have been dated to about 1,000 years BC, so the Cascad block, with its complex system of glyphs, is assumed to be from the same historical era. If that's the case, it would predate the written language of the Zapotec people by about 400 years. Some of the symbols seem to represent animals and birds, but others are abstract and impossible to decipher. The arrangement of the symbols in random rows is inconsistent with other Mesoamerican writing systems, so it's possible that each symbol is an independent piece of information. The repetition of some symbols, however, could indicate a repeated letter or word. Perhaps one day we'll figure it out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and hang out here for more incredible videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.